Hello everybody. I will start today by explaining notions of consistency of constraints, which mean how much we are able to remove and what is the cost to pay for the removals of all the inconsistent values. Let's start with a simple constraint, which is a sum constraint. So for the sum constraint, you want the sum of all the variables in X to be equal to the variable Y, okay, which is formally stated by this formula. Let's assume that you have these domains. Okay, these are the domains of x1, and this is y. Which values can you remove? And how difficult is it to do that? Let's take one example. Do you think that we can remove the value 1 from the domain of x1? So what about this one? You can remove it only if you are not able to find an extension so that you reach the sum equal to 6 in this case. So let's try to do it. For 1, you could do 1 plus 2, which is 3, plus 3. No, you don't have 3. What about 1 plus 3, which means 4? 4 plus 2, it works, okay? So this one is okay, for instance. What about this one? 3 plus 3 equal to 6. This one is okay as well. Okay, what about this one? 0. So for 0, you would do, for instance, 0 plus 1, which is 1 plus 5, so this one is okay as well. What about 2? For 2, you would do 2 plus 1 plus 3, it doesn't work. 2 plus 3, which is already equal, it's already, 2 plus 3 is already 5, plus at least 2 for this one. Okay, this one clearly do not work, okay? And so on and so on. And so at the end, you will remove all these ones. Okay, it seems that I made a mistake. This one was also not supported. Let's check again. So 3 plus 2, yes, indeed, this one is not supported. Okay, so this was a mistake. So the question is, how difficult is it to remove all these values? What's the time complexity of an algorithm that would be able to do that for the sum constraint? And the answer to that is it's really hard. It's an NP-complete problem to do this. And we can convince ourselves of this by applying a reduction algorithm. So quick reminder about reduction. The reduction is if you're able to solve a well-known NP-hard problem using this pruning algorithm that you need to demonstrate that it's NP-hard. And if you are able to prove that you can solve an existing NP-hard problem with this new algorithm that you consider, then you have the reduction. And so this is what we will do for the subset sum. The subset problem is this one, is you want to find a subset of, among a set of integer values, you want to find a subset so that the sum is equal to 0. Okay, a subset of these integer values that sum to 0. Some of them are positive and some of them are negative, of course. And what we will do as a reduction is that we will create one variable for every value inside this set that is given in the subset sum problem. We create one variable with the domain 0 and AI, which is the corresponding entry in the set. Okay, and then if the filtering algorithm that you would apply for the sum constraint that is supposed to remove every inconsistent values tells you, yes, I think I'm still consistent and I didn't remove anything in that case. And if the answer is yes, it means that you found an answer for the subset sum problem, right? Because otherwise, since this algorithm is supposed to detect every possible inconsistency, it would answer yes or no correctly. Okay, so this is not a good news that you would be able to solve the NP-hard problem subset sum if it was possible to have an efficient algorithm for the filtering of the sum constraint. Okay, it's not a good news, of course, because it also means that given the current knowledge of algorithms, it means that the only possible solution would be an exponential time algorithm for solving for the pruning of the sum constraint. So it's not a good news, and we surely do not want to spend an exponential time in the filtering on one specific constraint, right? Because we will apply this algorithm in every node of the search tree. So you don't want to pay an exponential time complexity. You are more probably ready to pay a quadratic, a linear, or logarithmic time complexity inside the filtering of one constraint. Okay, but inside the propagator, again, we prefer to have polynomial time filtering algorithms. Okay, what to do then? the answer is always the same in optimization. When something is too complex to solve, we relax the problem. And this is exactly what we will do. We will relax a little bit the problem. We will reduce a little bit the filtering that we are able to do in order to increase the speed, to improve the speed, the time required by the filtering algorithm. It's not always possible to characterize correctly the time of filtering that we are able to do, but in this case, it's possible. And to characterize the filtering of constraints, we have at least two candidates. We have the domain consistency and we have the bound consistency. The domain consistency is quite easy. It means that you would be able to remove every value that do not participate in the solution of the constraint. Okay? And if I need to represent the domain consistency, I can represent it here. So imagine that you would start with the domain of X, which is this one, the domain of Y, which is this one. If you are able to remove every inconsistent values, you would remove this from the domain of Y, this from the domain of X, assuming the blue region correspond to the feasible combinations of the variable Y and X for this constraint. Okay, so these are the feasible regions for the constraint, for one same constraint C. And so this is what you would remove. You just project on the axis of X and you project on the domain of Y, and then you remove your filter. Sometimes this is just too difficult to do that, and we prefer to have a relaxation. So we will have bound consistency, which will be a relaxation of domain consistency. What it means is that instead of creating holes and trying to remove values in the middle of the domain, we will only consider shrinking. We will only shrink the domains of all the variables and not remove values in the middle of them. So we will just shrink the domains. And so a bound consistent filtering algorithm would do something like this. And as you can see, this, we don't remove it. Although it's not consistent, we don't remove it because it would be too time consuming for some of the constraints to do that. Okay, let's formally define what we mean by domain consistency and what we mean by bound consistency. So we say that a constraint is domain consistent. It means that it's a static property given the definition of the constraint and given the state of the domains. So a constraint is domain consistent if for every variable that is involved in the constraint, so all these variables here, for every variable and for every single value that you have in the domains, we must have an extension, okay, of this value. We must find an extension in the domains of all the variables. So this is the extension. There exists at least one extension so that the constraint is satisfied. Okay, and so it means that if the domain is if the constraint is domain consistent, it means that basically you have removed all the inconsistent values. Bound consistency is a relaxation of this. And the relaxation that we will do is that instead of requiring that the extension is inside the original domains, you see that I change the notation here. Instead of requiring that it's inside the original domains, it is inside the extended domains, okay? And this notation that you find here, okay? This notation means that it's the domain without holes in the middle of them. So if you have a domain which is 0, 1, 2, 5, okay, the extension of this domain is equal to the range 1 to 5. You see? I just filled in the gap in the middles of the domain. Okay, so this is a relaxation, and I need to find a support not for every variable, but and every value in the domains, but for every variable and for every value which is on the bound of the domain. Okay, so it's not for every vi as we had here, it's for every bound of the domain min or maximum of the constraints. This is bound consistency, and this is, again, this is a relaxation. Okay, and so some constraint, as we will see in the next video, performing a domain consistent filtering algorithm, as I said, is NP hard. It's too difficult. So we will use this bound consistent relaxation instead. And the good news is that we are able to have very efficient filtering algorithm for the sum constraint for doing the bound consistent filtering algorithm.